Jimmy Butler is playing some of the best basketball in the NBA right now, and I'm a little hurt after he kind of disrespected a good friend, Drew Holiday. That was a little uncalled for, but he was playing well. He was out there competing. How impressive has it been to watch Jimmy just take over that series and essentially just dominate the series and win it for the Heat?
Yeah. It's extremely impressive. It's extremely. We saw bits of this Jimmy in that, what was that, the 2020 NBA playoff run in the bubble?
Yep.
Where he was just on another planet. You know what I mean? He just has, and he's showing it now. Like Jimmy's will, his just passion, his competitiveness. He's got a dog in him. Like, and this shows who has the dogs. Like, you know what I mean? This is where the dogs come out. Jimmy is a dog. He's showing it. He's tough. He gonna talk his talk and he gonna back it up. Like, that's the thing about Jimmy. You don't let him talk his shit, because he's gonna feed into that. He's gonna buy into the shit he's saying, and then there's no turning back, right? So Jimmy's. I applaud Jimmy. Jimmy looks great. He's looking like the best player in the playoffs so far, and he's got Miami on another level.
The NBA has so much parity, right? Like, it feels like anybody could win this thing right now.
Anything could happen. The 8 seeds aren't normal 8 seeds. 7 seeds aren't normal 7 seeds. This shit all comes down to matchups. And I called it. I thought Miami plays Milwaukee very well. Like, they've been doing that for years. Regardless of who wins that series, it's always going to be a good matchup. And yeah, I mean, you credit Miami, credit Jimmy. Bam's playing great. Like, that team looks for real. And if you got a leader like Jimmy, who you know is going to leave it out there every single night, like that's where the role players, they're Kyle? Elevated. Kyle's playing great. He's it all comes from Jimmy. It's stemming from Jimmy. Right. Your leader, you look at your leader. Your leader is the most dominant. He's the most aggressive. He's putting his body on the line. He's diving for balls. He's blocking shots. Literally, Jimmy's taking no plays off. You see that, and then literally everybody's going to fall in line,
Only Kawhi has a ring on that team, right?
Kyle.
Not Kyle. What did I say his name?
Kawhi. Kyle and
Clippers.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love's got one.
Kevin Love's over there.
Is any of the role players? I'm trying to think if anybody else.
Nah, I think that's it.
I think just Kyle.
Kyle and Kevin.
He's got Miami going crazy. My buddy was at the game. Spence was at the game, and he said it was like one of the most craziest atmospheres. I think there was a quote that even in when LeBron was there, I
saw that.
Like, it wasn't how it was the other night when Jimmy dropped 50.
Do you got any Jimmy Butler stories since all this time?
To go with his competitiveness, obviously I spent a ton of time with Jimmy in our early years playing in the same division, the matchups, Indy versus Chicago. We always duked it out. Like, it was always a great head up, mano-a-mano matchup. Secretly I'm telling people, no, I don't want no help. Don't no, let me guard him. Jimmy's the same way. No help. Let me guard him straight up. No switching. I'm gonna get through screens. Like, that's how we both played against each other. So it was always fun matching up with Jimmy. But I remember we were in USA. Me and him was on USA together, and it's championship game, and we played Serbia before this. Mm-hmm. Serbia gave us a great run for our money, right? And they had a player by the name of Milos Teosidic. And he was balling. He was their leader over there, like little point guard. He ended up going to Clippers after that Olympic year. He ended up going to the Clippers and was with the Clippers, right? But before that, like, nobody heard of him. Like, but there was like talks like, oh, okay, he's their best player. He's this legend over in Europe. So we're all like, oh, okay, like, all right. So we ended up playing them. And this is the game that was close. This was before the championship game, because we ended up playing them in the championship for the gold medal. So this is while we were in pool play. And he had a great game. He was hitting shots. He was finding people. He was the reason why the game was so tight.
Right.
So now fast forward to the gold medal game. And we going through matchups. It came down to matching up with Teosicic. So me and him fighting over him. I'm like, nah, I got him.
Who, you and Jimmy?
Me and Jimmy. Jimmy like, nah, let me get a piece of him.
Hey.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
Hey.
We like all into it. Like let me guard him. Let me match up with him. Jimmy like, yo, let me get him. So we going back and forth. Like, and I mean, that's it. That's the story. But it was just like I could feel his passion, his competitiveness, because it was a big game. Like,
right.
We were having tough matchups all through that run to get the goal. Every team we played us hard, and he had just had a great game before we played them for the gold medal.
Right.
But it was literally just us two going back and forth.
So who got the best of him? You
did he play?
Jimmy?
What was the guy's stats?
We got the best of him.
We drowned him out. He couldn't do shit. I started out on him. Jimmy had his moments on him, but we drowned him out. Like we ended up beating Serbia by like 15, 20 points.
I want to know who got the best out of you and Jimmy too when y'all was going at it.
When we was going at it, I think I got the best out of Jimmy.
You got the best out of Jimmy?
I think it's fair to say
What, you don't think he got
that's
the
for
best
the.
out of Jimmy?
I'm sure there's some stat guy out there who's gonna put our head to head together. P, you averaged there, you averaged that, you won this many. And like I'm sure there's somebody that's gonna pick this up. And
Yeah, we'll pull it up right now.
but I think I got the best of Jimmy. You gotta think. I came in the league before Jimmy. I was established earlier than Jimmy. And when I was year 3, Jimmy was just getting on the scene. He was just finding his niche. He was just starting to play. It was definitely an advantage. I was a little bit more ahead of Jimmy. I had a different mindset on it because I had, there was Chris Middleton just getting in. There was Jimmy Butler. There was Giannis who was young. I was just a crazy mindset that like, and Brian just left. So I'm like, shit, this is my shit now. This is my division. And so that's how I was looking at it as a young guy. Like, I'm gonna be the best player in this division. Like, and it was all good wings. You know what I mean? Right. Giannis, Chris Middleton. Who was the other cat before Chris Middleton? Jabari
Parker.
Jabari Parker was in there.
There's a problem. Injuries.
Yeah.
I think injuries.
Jabari Parker.
And so I no, there was no like, oh, let me teach him some tricks. Let me there was P was not in a friendly manner those early years in Indiana.
Jimmy averages 14 against you. You average 21.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Pull those stats up again.
Huh?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm not gonna lie. It's almost.
You give him 30 a few times.
I'm not gonna lie. Matching up with Jimmy is almost like there's a level of respect there. I'm not gonna lie. There's a level of respect when me and Jimmy played. That like, I don't know if it's because the prior times we've played and I've had his number but there's a very thick line of respect right there where he's like, he knows it's going to be a tough one.
Jimmy Butler is obviously establishing a reputation where it's like every time this guy gets into playoffs, he turns into like one of the best players in basketball. How hard is it to kind of elevate your game to the level that he has been elevating his? I mean,
it's tough. It's tough. But I'm not surprised by the level that he's playing at now. That's just how he plays the game. Like, if you watch him in a regular season, I wouldn't say he's coasting, but this is the moment that he's waiting on. You know what I mean? Like, he's waiting to get to this moment to actually play for something. Like, that's how he plays the game. He plays extremely hard. Again, the motherfucker puts his body on the line every time. And he understands it. Like, the playoffs, I heard him on the Knuckleheads where he says he's never won it at any level. And so the reason why he goes so hard, because he wants to be remembered as a winner. You know what I mean?
He never won at no level.
He's never won at no level. It's the same way with me. I've never won at any level. And like that, when it comes to the playoffs, it's like, I will do anything. Like, I will do whatever it takes to win. Like, I will go through. If I'm hurt, I will play through it. If I can. Like, if it's allowable. I would play.
Right.
I would go through anything to try to win a championship. Look, when you see him playing at this level, it's not surprising. Like, because it's not like he's a 3-point shooter. Like, he plays in the paint. He plays physical. He's gonna play and get fouled because he's so physical. And because of that, the playoffs, like, that's what it comes down to. Who can get easy baskets?
Well, do you think he's going to keep this high play up against
Absolutely.
the New York Knicks?
Absolutely.
They got good defense. Good defense.
Absolutely.
Jackie, it's time to check in on our prize picks.
Yeah, Dallas. It's playoff time, man. It's getting real serious right now. I'm trying to pick.
Yep, I just won big thanks to Jimmy Butler and Gabe Vincent beating their projections. How'd you do?
First of all, the people don't even know what we're talking about. Let them know what Prize Picks is, man.
Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you pick 2 to 6 players like the video on your screen, then pick if they will have more or less than their Prize Picks projection. You aren't competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. So, Jackie, how'd you win?
All I did was place an entry on Anthony Davis to score more points than he was projected to get, and Austin Reeves scored more points than he was projected to get. And at the end of the day, guess what? I know how much money I won. But Dallas, tell the people how much money they can win.
You can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And on top of that, all first-time users that deposit and use our promo code PODCASTP will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100.
That means if you deposit $20, Prize Picks will give you $20. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. Cha-ching!